Hello everyone, Tom from 8-Bit Gaming here, and I'm here to talk about why I think Nintendo's newly revealed plans for E3 2015 are a good idea, and basically just going to talk about why I think they're doing the right thing, and why I think their E3 is going to be a success. We're going to have another video up on 8-Bit Gaming later with a counter-argument to what I'm talking about now, so make sure to stay tuned for that. And remember guys, before we begin, please subscribe to 8-Bit Gaming. We're going to have a lot more YouTube content now. It's going to start coming out more and more as we build up to E3, and then we'll be covering E3 completely, so do stay tuned to 8-Bit Gaming for that. You can follow us on Twitch, support us on Patreon, follow us on Twitter, do all those different things, that'd be great. But now let's get to the nitty-gritty of things. Nintendo literally just revealed their plans for this year's E3, which takes place over June 15th to June 17th. However, they're adding a little bit more into the mix this time around. But let's start off with what we already know. Nintendo are basically doing what they did last year, which I think is a good idea. They're having a digital event, which in other words is a Nintendo Direct, followed up by Nintendo's Treehouse Event. So let's start with the digital event and why I think that's a good idea. Putting things simply, Nintendo's digital event last year was a huge success. In fact, a lot of people came away from E3 last year thinking Nintendo actually won the whole damn thing. And to be honest, I think they did very well. Their digital event last time was themed heavily around Adult Chicken, you know, the internet phenomenon with like the little kind of characters and, you know, tongue-in-cheek humour, and it was very, very well done. Nintendo proved themselves to be a little bit more internet savvy and a little bit more consumer aware, because they made running jokes about where's Metroid and where's Star Fox and all this sort of thing. And Reggie Fils-Aimé, of course, was a great sport as always. And basically the digital event was just a huge success. Couple that along with big games like Smash Brothers, Zelda Wii U, Splatoon, and you've got a hell of a good show. I think keeping the digital event is a good idea. They're not having a traditional conference, which I know will upset some people, but I feel like this is a good way of cementing Nintendo's footprint at E3. It's their own kind of thing, it breaks away from the mold, something which Nintendo actively tries to do in more aspects than just E3. And I think the digital event gives them a chance to really tailor-make this kind of event for their fans. They can fill it with references. Even the tweet that was put out yesterday signaling that they were going to reveal their E3 plans was a Punch-Out reference, as it had Reggie Fils-Aimé dressed up like Little Mac. So I think this year we're going to get big new games alongside things like Smash Brothers DLC and Mario Kart DLC, and that's just going to help flesh out the digital event, make it something that fans can really enjoy and relate to again. And I think it's a good idea. It's safe, yeah, it's safe ground, but at the same time I think it's the right ground to be treading, because Nintendo kind of don't want to alienate people, but they also want to bring in new audiences. And while you might argue that the Direct is not the best for bringing in new audiences, I think the Direct shows off what Nintendo is really all about at heart. You know, it's with the production values they can do and the jokes, they can avoid faux pas, they can avoid gaffes, and the Direct is probably just the best, most stable way of them going about things and continuing to deliver the same kind of thing that made their last E3 so damn successful. Now, the Treehouse event, again, is another thing which is pretty neat and pretty good. The digital event will run on Tuesday, June the 16th, which, you know, is about the same as usual. Sony and Microsoft tend to be the day before Nintendo. But the Treehouse event will follow on from Tuesday, I believe, which will then just be daily live stream games like it was the last time. And I think the Treehouse is a great idea. You know, maybe the games aren't always that interesting, but at least Nintendo have a steady footprint of content at E3, and they make themselves known, they make themselves heard by being there all the time, and it's not something other companies tend to do at E3. So, you know, there's always something on as far as Nintendo are concerned, and I think that's quite clever. So I have no issue with the Treehouse being there, and I think, you know, that kind of combo of the digital event and the Treehouse event work really well together. And now the new thing that Nintendo are bringing in is the World Championships, which haven't been around since 1990, and Reggie Fils-Aimé himself appears to be competing in them. And last time, 25 years ago, it was Nintendo touring America with some of their hottest games and, you know, bringing out a Nintendo World Champion and crowning them. And it's a little bit crap that they are presumably, we don't actually know, but presumably it's only America again, as it was Nintendo of America that talked about all this, and, you know, they tend to be in charge of most of the main events. But, you know, it's also a good way of them getting their name out around the E3 period when video game buzz is just at an all-time high. And the World Championships is great. It's also quite safe. Nintendo are playing on that nostalgia feeling again, bringing up their biggest hitters, their biggest first-party games. I imagine Smash will be involved and all those sorts of things. And so the World Championships, while not necessarily a huge hitter in terms of actual E3 content, it's a nice supplement to E3 content, and I think it's actually going to work out quite well. It begins on this Sunday the 14th, which obviously is before E3 technically, so it's a good way of Nintendo getting their foot in the door before the other two on Monday. And actually it's quite clever when you think about it that way. Nintendo come in on the Sunday and they box in the competitors. They're Sunday and Tuesday, so you're pretty much throughout this E3 going to be hearing it constantly from Nintendo. There's just going to be a huge stream of Nintendo news. And also, Mario Maker is coming to Best Buy stores. Again, it seems to be a Nintendo of America only, but it's taking the place of Smash last time. And Mario Maker is a game people want to get their hands on. It's nice they're finally going to be able to before the September release. So yeah, I think Nintendo are doing the right thing as far as E3 is concerned this year. Like I said, keep an eye out because we're going to do a video on why we think Nintendo aren't doing the right thing as far as E3 is concerned this year. Stay tuned for that. But as always, guys, let us know in the comments below, what do you think about Nintendo's E3 plans? Are you hyped for their E3 digital event? If you're in America, are you going to be taking part in the World Championships? Does that interest you at all? And maybe you're going to check out Mario Maker. Again, let us know in the comments below. As always, guys, though, please subscribe to our videos. We're bringing in lots more content now, and follow us on Twitter. If you like what we're doing here, help us out, support us on Patreon, that'd be great. But yeah, until next time, guys, goodbye.